Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. Data downloaders in. Let's go ahead and see what we're going to be getting this week. Exciting stuff given that it's part 1 of the Legends Festival. Starting off with a cool new looking welcome screen. I love it. The blue and green contrast here looks very, very nice. The banners, honestly, kudos to whoever comes up with the banner titles. Look at this. God Destroying Vivid Blue Light. And the Crimson Flare of Condemnation. Very cool names. Gogeta is back here. And then we got Omega Shenron is back. Pretty good picks. I'm curious to see what the remaining featured lineup is. But yeah, cool so far. We're going to be getting a raid, which is nice. Vegito, bonus character up against CMZ. Nifty. Next, we got a festival sale. Hippie. Nice to have a sale for the banners. And then here we go with the kits. We're not gonna be revisiting the Vegito and Goku Black because we already know what they do. They shared it on the website. Let's go ahead and see what the 1% characters do. Starting with Red Mai. From what they teased, she sounds really good. She's a support character, and if she fights with another weapon wielder or I think future ally or girl's ally, she has the permanent endurance nullification effect. We don't know if that can be cancelled, but if it can't be, then her being red, as well as having endurance null for free, makes her a very strong unit against Ultra Majin Vegeta. Once you factor in Vegito and what he can do, he's a very strong counter to Turles. And then Goku Black is yellow, which means that he'd be a suitable counter to a character like UG4. This is all to say that they're releasing some good picks. So let's go ahead and see what she can do here. Main ability, draw the ultimate arts card, Burning Assault next. Restore own health by 20% and ki by 50. Cancels own attribute downgrades under normal conditions, as well as nullifies own unfavorable element factors. They shared the teaser of what her kit, they did like a little bit of a showcase of what she can do. I love her blue card. She basically peppers the enemy with a bunch of pellets because she's using a shotgun. But her shotgun can do so many things. It can shoot smoke grenades, has a slug round as well. Such a versatile weapon, I love it. But it's just so funny to see all the pellets just pepper the enemy at long range with the shotgun. 110% damage inflicted, 70% reduced damage received, reduced impact and pierce damage received by 10%, 50% key recovery, level 1 card draw speed, and 15% to damage inflicted by future weapon wielder or tag girls. Already off to a great start. Following effects occur when she enters the battlefield. Draw a special arts card next, activates twice, restores own ki by 30, 70% to damage inflicted, as well as inflict enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 15 to strike and blast arts power for 10 counts. Also applies the following effects if a tag future, weapon wielder, or girl character other than herself is a battle member. Restores health by 15%, 30% to damage inflicted for 15 counts, and nullifies enemies' endurance effects when this character attacks for 10 timer counts. It can be cancelled. That's a bit unfortunate. It's not that big a deal. You just do your normal attacks, but it's still very strong. I still think she'll be fine. I mean, with another future weapon wielder or girl's ally, 210% damage inflicted already puts her in a great spot. The following effects occur every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is on the field. Shorten ally sub count by 2. Reduce enemy ki by 20. Activates twice. Activation count resets if the character switch. And if she goes to standby, you draw 1 new card if you have 3 or fewer. Restore ally health by 5% and 15% to damage inflicted by allies. So she can give up to 30% if you have these suitable tags, which is good. Next bit, she has a cover change against strike cards, changeable with the blue. If following effects are affected to all enemies when changing cover, plus 15 to all arts costs and minus 1 card draw speed. Plus the following effects to self every time this character uses a blast card. Restores ki by 10, that's a lot. 15% to damage inflicted, that's very good. 10% to blue card damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates 3 times, and plus 10% to crit rate. Cannot be cancelled, activates 3 times. The following effects occur upon landing a blast hit. Randomly draw 1 new card if you have 3 or fewer. Activation count resets if the character switch. Inflict enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 30% to the health restoration. And then also applies the following effects to the enemy according to the number of times this character uses a blast arts. Sorry, the number of times this character's blast arts have hit the opponent. 2 times, 100% chance for heavy bleed. 3 times heavy chance, 100% chance for poison, and 4 times 50% chance to inflict paralysis. That's pretty nifty. Okay. Her Z ability, 35% to tag future weapon wielder or girls blast attack and defense, and 18% to weapon wielder strike defense. Special arts, blast shot, massive pierce damage, applies the following effects to self upon activation, 20% to blue card damage inflicted for 3 counts, and minus 20% to enemy sustained damage card effects for 3 counts. Shorten ally sub count by 2. Her green card, reload. Randomly destroy one of your own cards and draw 2 blast cards next. Restores one key by 50. 20% to damage inflicted for 15 counts. Increases card speed by 1 level for 15 counts. And nullifies cover changes for 10 counts. She's a pretty simplistic character, all in all. The shiny thing is the permanent anti-endurance effects, as well as her supportive capabilities. Those are going to be the things that shine the most. Otherwise, she seems relatively simplistic. Stacking damage, decent damage inflicted, decent combo potential from her green card. But really, what's going to shine is just the anti-endurance just being stacked in her kit, and you being able to rush characters like Ultra Majin Vegeta or Ultimate Gohan. Well, sorry, Ultimate Gohan, not in the same sense because it can be canceled, but I mean, like, you know, you can go for the rush and your opponent will, if he swaps into Ultimate Gohan, then boom, unfortunately, he's dead. That's going to be the defining, shining thing for her. Yeah, simplistic character, but that kind of thing is still very valuable. Next, we have the tag switch Cell and Frieza. I had a couple people upset at me for saying I found this a weird pick with the Rage Trunks being the free-to-play character. I think it would have made more sense for them to be flipped. Rage Trunks should have been a 1%. Frieza and Cell should have been the free character. And I'm saying this for 2 reasons. 1, this is a Future Trunks Saga celebration. It is very weird for Trunks to be getting the free-to-play treatment. And number 2, Rage Trunks actually has worse representation than both Frieza and Cell. I know the tag switch character would be a little bit rare, but that character being here is a bit of a reach. It only makes sense because Cell sort of fits the whole future tag bit, but at the same time, it just feels like Rage Trunks gets done dirty, and Trunks characters in general are done dirty. They don't get many releases or any at all, and if they do, they aren't that great. They don't really get any unique equips or Zankais, and whatchamacallit, in his own celebration, the Rage form in particular hasn't seen a new card in years. The yellow one that we got, what, 2nd year anniversary was the last one that we got. He didn't get a Zankai. We haven't seen another one since then. I just think in his own themed celebration for a form that gets virtually no representation, as well as a character that hasn't been given much love, maybe it would have made more sense thematically for him to be at least getting a 1% character. That's where I was coming from. I guess that this character is far more unique, so that's okay. But to me, I would say the choice just feels a bit off. That's all. But I will agree, they do look like a cool character. Either way, let's go. Main ability. This is going to be the kit on the Cell side, by the way. So we are currently tagged in as Cell. So tag switch to Frieza. Switch his own element to purple. Restore health by 15%. 30% to damage inflicted. Card speed for 5 counts. Inflict enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 30% to key recovery. Also applies the following effects to self if 25 timer counts have elapsed. Draw the Awakened Arts Almighty Light Cage next. Awakened Arts will be destroyed on the next tag switch. Ooh. Ooh, okay. That's going to be something you have to be very careful for. Apply buff effect, nullify enemy destroy card effects for 10 counts. Activation count is shared between Cell and Frieza, so there's only one Almighty Light Cage that you can draw. Okay. Unique ability 1. When the battle starts, charge your switch gauge by 100%, 110% damage inflicted, 70% reduced damage received, level 1 card draw speed, minus 5 to strike. Blast is special move arts, plus 20% to health restore, gradually restore own health, and reduce impact damage received by 10% for 60 counts. Alright, looking good. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield or enters the battlefield via tag switch. Restore 30 key, 80% damage inflicted. Attribute downgrade inflicted on the enemy plus 15% to damage received. Following effects also occur if there's a defeated battle member. Apply buff effect, nullify enemies, reduce key effects to self for 10 counts, reduce enemy Dragon Balls by 1, seal all enemy main abilities for 5 counts. That can be annoying. The following effects occur upon landing a strike or blast arts hit. Restore on health by 3%, key by 10. Whoa, not even limited. Strike or blast arts hit. You heal 3% of your health and 10 key. 20% to damage inflicted. So does every character just stack damage in these releases? Vegito, I can't remember off the top of my head if Rose did as well, but so far it seems like everyone can just stack damage. 20% to damage inflicted for 10 counts, and inflicts enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 20% to health restore for 10 timer counts. Applies the following effects to allies when an enemy activates an ultimate, awaken, or rising rush while this character is on the battlefield. Activates twice. Restore health by 10%, shortens sub count by 3. Okay. Next, he has a covered change against strike arts, chainable with the blue. The following effects occur when the enemy uses an arts card while this character is on the field. Activates once. Nullify own unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 5 counts. Shorten ally sub count by 2. Reduce enemy key by 20. Seal enemy special move arts. That's a nice one. Sealing the blue card right there. Very, very useful. The sealed arts cannot be used for 5 counts. Keep in mind, this applies for like certain scenarios, like an AoE green and your opponent will try to smack you with the blue card. So UMV, UG4, stuff like that. Very helpful. Inflict all enemies with the attribute downgrade minus 15 to strike and blast arts power for 5 counts. Pretty good. The following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. Restore on health by 10%. Shorten own subcount by 1, restore ally key by 20, and seal all enemy main abilities for 5 counts. After using an Awakened Arts card, applies the following effects to self when enemy switches characters. Activates once. Charges switch gauge by 100%. Restores vanish gauge by 100%. 15% to crit rate, 60% to key recovery. Activation count shared between Cell and Frieza. Seems alright so far. They seem strong. They have a lot of sustainability. 10% healing for when they go to standby, 15% every time they tag switch, and they seem to have multiple ways of rapidly restoring the switch gauge. Showing up at the field during the battle start, they already have their switch gauge, and then they're going to be able to get it when something like this happens after 25 counts and you use the the Awakened Arts. Your opponent switches characters, you're going to be able to get your switch gauge right away, stacking up that card draw speed, you're healing, so it sounds like they have really good sustain. Z ability, 35% to tag GT Future or tag Android strike attack and defense, and 18% to Android blast defense. Blue card, massive impact damage, 30% to blue card damage inflicted. On hit, randomly destroy 2 cards, inflict attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restore. Damn, dude, everyone's just riddled with removing health restore. Green card. Randomly draw 1 new card, restores own key by 40, charges own switch gauge by 40%, 30% to damage inflicted for 15 counts, and cover nullification for 10 counts. Cancel own attribute downgrade. So they only get cover null off their green. This is now the Frieza side of the character. It all seems to be the same. So your tag switch will now go to Cell, element blue, but otherwise everything seems to be the same here. Destroy card effects, draw the ultimate, that's fine. This is the same. Sealing mains, restore own health by 3%, key by 10. Oh, so Frieza is going to be getting 20% to damage inflicted as opposed to Cell's 10%. I think Cell is getting 10 every time he landed. No, he gets 20% as well. Sorry, I read that wrong. That's a lot of damage stacking. But otherwise, it all looks to be the same. Still a strike cover change. Hit once. Yeah, it looks like it's all the same between Cell and Frieza. I think the blue card is the only difference. His blue card is massive slice damage, 30% to blue card damage inflicted for 3 counts upon activation. On hit, 100% chance for a heavy bleed. as well as attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts costs. Yeah, I think the Cell and the Frieza are basically the same character. Yeah, they look to be the same. The only thing that changes is the blue card between the two. All right, jumping in game. Let's go ahead and see their stats here. Vegeta being a transforming character, I'm expecting this guy to have pretty good stats. All right, so he is more blast oriented. Even though he's a range type, I thought they might do what they did with Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and let you build him how you wanted. Fusion Warriors is rather strike oriented. Future right now is not... It's not really much of an established tag, so having a character that can be versatile across both builds would have been good. But hey, they wanted you to focus up on him being blast-oriented. Post-transformation, of course, yeah, looking pretty good stats-wise. Defenses may be a little bit on the lower end, but given how high his multipliers are and all the reduced damage passives that he has and his HP healing when he falls below a certain threshold, considering all those things together and his HP stat being at 2.6, I think he'll have very few issues with sustainability. I think Vegeta will be fine. I wonder if the same could be said for some of the other characters. Like Mai had lower multipliers when it came to her offensive capabilities. Let's see. Yeah, her offensive capabilities are low. Her HP value is a little bit lower too. Defenses aren't bad, but they're kind of average-ish. That's fine. The tag switch characters, I'm curious too. I think they're going to be lower than average because of their sustainability coming from 10% of their health swapping out. What is it, 15% for every tag switch? Yeah, there it is. Oof. They have 2.4 million HP on the nose. Yeah, they definitely have lower than average stats. Same with their defenses too. I mean, keep in mind that we have the arts boost system inflating the numbers a little bit here. So you could take away 13k, add another 5,000 depending on how far you came along with your titles. You could tell that their stats are definitely a little bit lower. All right, that's fine. Goku Black being a defense type, I'm expecting him to be very, very tanky, especially as a transformation character. Holy crap! Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very good stats. They made him more strike-oriented, though. Kind of weird. Oh my god, his blast arts heal him for 5% when used. Jesus. Yeah, Goku Black is going to be very, very, very tanky. Okay, stats-wise, the LFs are looking good. The 1%, the Cell and Frieza are lower than average, and Mai's look to be just about average. That's fine. Not surprised there. There's also some new equipment. Let's go ahead and see those. I'm going to assume this Future equip is going to be really good because Future needs help. Future, double offense, double defense. More blast attack than anything else. And this could have been better. You know, if this gave max HP, it would have been fine. But they ended up opting for double offense. I guess that's whatever. I don't know if it's best in slot for any of these characters. Maybe somebody like Mai. Just because I don't know how many equipment options Mai would have right now. But that is what it is. Should be one more, right? Yeah, what do we got here? Blast attack, max HP, blast defense, another blast attack. If this character is Saiyan, oh, okay. Alrighty, this looks like a nice solid equip. But otherwise, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I think it's just those two pieces of equipment. Okay, I think that pretty much captures everything. You let me know in the comment section below how you're feeling. Overall, I think the LFs are looking great. I think Mai will be a good support, rather simplistic, but the anti-endurance will be very valuable with her. And then for the Cell and Frieza, their stats are very low, but they have a lot of healing passives and damage stacking passives, so perhaps they will do fine. Because they only get cover nullification off the green, I can see their combos getting stopped very quickly, but they can keep earning their switch gauge very quickly, so we'll have to see how well it plays in game, but I'm a little bit worried about them. So be on the lookout for the showcases. I'm going to go to the gym now and train legs. Until next time, guys. Peace.